Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers have all come. Everybody's coming.
So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample show. Mr. Piss-Drunk fraternity guy, you got my asshole, bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks in a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Oh, I just can't understand it. Conquer divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, Sherlock! I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, Sherlock! Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish Mr. Whitebeater, you're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. Screws in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cats ready to go. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The public dominant. Put a body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. So let the buddies will quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do this show live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. So if you're listening on the podcast on Spotify or Apple or whatever, come check out the live show. It's at twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. If you don't want to do that and you want the entire show, including Red Light and other bonus content, early access to our cast of characters series and whatnot, that's patreon.com/Echoplex. Or eplex.store. Sign up at the $5 a month level or higher and you get all of the goodies. Also at eplex.store, if you sign up at any level, you get a discount on all of the merch, like this hat I'm wearing. If you are listening on the podcast, you can't see that because podcast is an audio only format. I'm Producer Dave. You can find me on Blue Sky getting blocked by a bunch of shit libs. And before we get started with this week's stories, the Wyatt Act has something to remind you of.
Everything's fine, and everything's fine, and it's great. what do you do? Sorry I'm late, I kept hitting snooze. It's just one of those days. You know what they say. It is what it is. Ignorance is bliss. When it rains, it pours. Couldn't ask for more. What goes around comes around, all in good time. I guess that your guess is as good as mine. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine. I hope you have a real nice day. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine and it's great. Thanks. Everything's fine and everything's fine. I hope you have a real nice day.
All right, so let's get right to it. I got a bunch of stuff this week, although the show's probably not going to be a 2.5 hour marathon like it usually is. That leaves us more time for Red Light. I don't know who this guy Towery is because I don't care, but he's trying to say that low Republican turnout in some elections is just because people haven't seen enough of Donald Trump, right? Because that's what's going on in this country is, you know who we never see any of? We never see any of Donald Trump.
Well, right now, I'll tell you, Sean, it's too early for us to say. I'm concerned about one thing, and that is Republican turnout. In Georgia, Democrats turned out 150,000 more early voters than Republicans in the red state of Georgia. That's not a good sign to me. I think more has to be done now to lay the groundwork. And I also say one other thing. I don't think enough of President Trump's achievements are being put out there for the general public to see. They see this mirage that's created by the liberal media. They hear nothing but war. The president has achieved phenomenal things, including, by the way, the stock market hitting another record, I think, today. But you don't hear about it. And I think the Republicans need to start making that case, whether they have to buy ads or whatever, right now, because it's going to be too late in October.
You don't hear about it because tomatoes are fucking $4 a pound. Like, yo, I don't give a fuck how your stock portfolio is doing. Tomatoes are $4 a pound. Like, and I'm talking like they're not like the heirloom fucking fancy pants tomatoes either. They're like just the fucking Roma tomatoes. Just like fucking 6 months ago, that shit was sometimes $1 a pound. Yeah, people be noticing. So Trump's having a bad week. Trump's just not having a good week this week. Good for him. Here's him, as he often does, being a total dick to a female reporter. This is Miss Collins from CNN, who actually, I believe, used to work for Tucker Carlson's rag and has been fairly impressive over at CNN. I thought she was just going to be a toady for Donald Trump.
Others have abused our people. Wait a minute, be quiet. Have abused our people so badly, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You used to be a conservative. She was a conservative from Alabama. Can you believe it? But CNN, in particular, CNN does such false reporting. But now they have new ownership, so maybe it'll straighten it out. I doubt it, but it's hard to straighten garbage out. But CNN has abused, and others have abused so badly. People.
I think like the entire press pool just needs to leave. Like when he does this to people, because he only does it to like people of color and women of color, essentially. Like he does it to people that he knows he could bully anybody. He's the fucking president. But I think the whole press pool just needs to leave. Like when he does that, just leave. I don't know, man. Just I know you're supposed to, I know you got a job to do and shit, but just leave. There's no reason that you shouldn't be you shouldn't treat anybody like that ever. Like there's no reason. I don't care if you're the president and they're a reporter, if you're their boss, if you're their neighbor, you should at least treat people with some amount of like respect, especially if everybody's at work, right? Because that's all this is this lady's at work. That's all she's at work. She's at work. So you're creating a hostile work environment for her by being the fucking piece of shit. Not very cool. So here's somebody I never thought would be on my news podcast. This guy, his name is Fab. from Milli Vanilli. Anybody who remember Milli Vanilli? Well, I thought having Milli Vanilli perform at Trump's little event coming up was kind of perfect because they're like fake, right? They're not really a band. So I thought it was kind of fitting, and I'm kind of upset that they backed out. But here's Fab from Milli Vanilli talking about why they backed out of, I don't know, not play. I don't even know what you would describe what they were going to do. Not lip syncing at the Trump rally. I don't know.
And we heard on Friday, your team told us that you were still intending to perform in Washington, D.C. for the Freedom 250 concert. Is that still the case tonight?
It's not the case tonight. This is why I'm here. I'm here to talk to you about this whole thing. So, at first, when this idea came to me, I live in Europe. So my team in Europe received the date. We looked at the date. Okay, the Great American State Fair. And the cherry on top was 250 years anniversary of America. I've learned a lot of lessons in America, hard lessons that I never forgot to this day. So, the difference between work.
I learned a lot of hard lessons in America. You don't say. First lesson you probably learned in America was don't pretend an album is yours if it isn't.
Harder, thinking big, thinking bigger, resilience, believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. So for me, I felt like it was a special moment, a full circle moment. So I was excited, and that's what. Was he just gonna like pretend the Girl You Know It's True is his song? A state fair in Washington, D.C. That's all it was to begin with.
Well, how was that told to you? They told you that it was going to be just a performance to celebrate the United States of America. What changed then?
Well, what happened is when I saw Young MC pulled out, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is he pulling out? Because does he know anything that I don't know? What does he know that I don't know? I was thinking. So I was a little worried there.
Young MC knows to put out music that he actually created.
And then, one after the next, people started to leave. But I was told by my team, who was told by another team, there's no political entanglement, there's no political alignment, it's just a free show for the people. I was there to unite the people, to bring people together, to have them walk down memory lane, celebrate life. Some people that were there, that would be there, were there when my music came out. So it was a way to say, hey, I'm still here, you're still here, let's have a good time together. That's what it was for me. But throughout the week, it turned into a circus. And this is not what I signed for. I'm here to to bring people together with music. I'm not into politics, so you hear it first here. I'm not attending June 26th celebration.
All right, whatever. I don't know. I fucking love it. I think it's great. I think it's great that Milli Vanilli of all people fucking pulled out. There's just something about like these people that are famous for something they didn't do. Right. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, was it Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis basically did all the music and then hired like studio musicians to sing on it or something. I forget what the scam was. But it would have been so fitting, actually, that one half of Milli Vanilli, again, famous for something they didn't do in the first place. I think that's more reason for him to do it. He's like, well, actually, I'm a fraud, so I should probably be doing this. But instead of doing like someone in chat said that they had created new music that sucks, he should have just gone to this just full on like, Girl, You Know It's True, right? Should have played the hits. Should have played Blame It on the Rain. It's easy because you don't got to sing it because you never did in the first place. So I think it would have been fully appropriate and very funny, but some people just don't got a fucking sense of humor, I guess. Some people just don't have a sense of humor. So it doesn't seem that Trump minds that these people pulled out of his event, because I guess he's just going to hold some kind of rally instead.
That you were going to do.
Yeah.
All those musicians have fallen.
Yeah.
They're cowards.
People no, it's not that. They get some free publicity. Look, they're not really cowards, but I never even heard of these people.
Right.
I never heard of any of them. They're boring. I don't.
Don't tell me Trump has never heard of Milli Vanilli. Come on. Trump has heard of Milli Vanilli.
I don't even want them. And when I heard a couple of them canceled out, I said, cancel the whole thing. I don't want to. We're going to do a rally.
Yeah.
And a rally, nobody's ever gotten crowds like I get at a rally. I had 118,000 people at one. I have 25,000. 25,000 is like a small crowd. Okay?
And your music's great.
And the only reason I only have 25 is because we have the basketball arenas. And
Right.
like at Madison Square Garden, I went to Madison Square Garden. Jim Dolan's the owner. He's a good guy too. And he said he's never, ever had a crowd like, so the place was packed and the crowds went down to the Hudson River and down past Fifth Avenue.
I was there. It was incredible.
They could have sold that out, Miranda, 10 different times. He said, I've never seen anything like it. So we're going to have a rally. I don't want the music. I don't even know who they are. I don't know their music. I don't want to know their music. But no, a couple of them said,
this dude was absolutely in some fucking like overpriced fucking nightclub rocking out to fucking Milli Vanilli or pretend, doing that stupid dance that he does.
It's okay, go someplace else. Yeah. And we're not looking to be partisan. We're celebrating the country, but we're going to do a rally, a great, beautiful rally to 250 years. And it's going to be great. And I think we'll get much bigger crowds. I mean, I'm not looking to work, I've got myself a good job.
That's right. I thought you'd be a bit busy.
But I do get the largest rallies in the history of politics by maybe 10 times.
By 10 times? So he said he had the biggest one. It was 118,000. So by 10 times, that means any other politician in American history has only ever drawn about 12,000 people. He said political rallies too, not like rallies by the president or by a candidate. There have been rallies on the National Mall that were fucking 500,000 people. Anyway, here's that same asshole. He went on NBC News to be interviewed. I forget what show this is. I think it's today. I think it's the Sunday show, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this interview did not go well for the sitting president of the United States. This person asked questions that he didn't like.
What changed? Because you insisted no new wars.
First of all, I didn't guarantee no war. Why would I have built the strongest military in the world? I built our military. I inherited a terrible military. We had no equipment. We had nothing. I built a tremendous military. Biden gave a lot of it away, but it's still a relatively small portion compared to what I built.
But you said it over and over again, Mr.
Why would
President?
I build a military? Now, I didn't want to use this, but I'm doing you and everybody else a big favor. In the midst of the greatest stock market in history, in the midst of the most successful country, because as you know, in the last term, we were a dead country, Kristen. I know you're a big liberal or a big progressive.
No, but I'm just a journalist.
We had a dead country. Did y'all know that fucking Joseph Robinette Biden fucking in his Dark Brandon period just disbanded the fucking Navy? He got rid of the whole military. He was like, why do we need the military? We're just going to hail Satan. Satan will protect all of us. It was, that Dark Brandon phase. Here's more of this interview. Jesus Christ. This fucking dude.
Be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Bolton was a dirty cop.
But there's no evidence.
Wait a minute. You think Comey was a straight cop?
People who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No, but
they had
the people
FBI,
who assaulted police
listen to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around there looking always in the side. They weren't in. They were being ushered into the building.
There's no evidence.
You had a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
No, there's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off the table?
Look at the tapes one time.
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled
guilty? Should they be exempt?
Because they told they were going to jail for 15 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled guilty because they were.
Man, if this lady was my sister or my mom or my homegirl, I'd be hopping mad that anybody was talking to her like this at work. I would just be fucking hopping mad. It doesn't really matter like what the subject matter or anything is. I would be so fucking pissed off.
Frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going into the building.
You'd be okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying, but
There's
let me
a
ask
lot
you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about Todd Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
Well, it's
but
not been
evidence.
presented
The election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election
California.
was rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California. No, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you.
Yo, she's fucking, I mean, he shouldn't be talking to her like that, but homegirl's fucking holding her ground. She's like, no, there's no evidence of that. No, that she like looked right at the camera. She's like, to be clear, there's no evidence of this. This is, who is that lady? I guess her name is Kristen. I don't know her name. I don't watch like I don't watch cable news or like the big three like news stations or whatever. I don't watch that, but like homegirl's holding it down. Here's how this ends. This isn't great at all. But it is, I think it's kind of fitting that it ends like this.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging
They're
the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they
They're
vote in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with this rap. You know
Hit him.
these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
you know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
you
in
went
this
to
country.
court.
We're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
Notice how he's changed it from the, he's like, your elections are crooked. He's like, he's mad at her, dude. He's mad at her. He is pissed off. This is amazing.
And so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
Your one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good
Mr.
time.
President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on, let's
traveled
go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
It looked like at the end almost, and I don't want to get like all blue and on the president's dying and shit. It almost looked like he had to lean on her, like he was going to fall over. But I don't know if there was like mics above their head that he was ducking under or whatever. But I don't know, man. I think if our system was working properly, the president does just this, and they fucking find themselves out of a job. Like the fucking Congress just impeaches them for this, just this. You can take tough questions and not be like this. You should absolutely, in a functioning system, this person would be removed from power. Like you can't do it. There's absolutely no. There are some reasons you might walk off. If somebody's maybe talking about your son or your daughter, or if they're fucking lying or whatever. But all she was doing was asking him questions and saying, "But there's no evidence for the thing," and he just lost his fucking shit. He was so mad. He was so mad. Here's somebody else who can't really take a question. I guess there's a member of Congress named Tom Keene who hasn't been in Congress for 3 months. And some people are wondering if like he's dead or whatever, but but he hasn't been there for 3 months. And yeah, people are wondering what's going on with him. And it's a reasonable thing for his constituents to like want, I know people's medical shit is private. If he's really sick or whatever, that sucks. But his constituents sort of have a right to know. But here's Mike Johnson getting asked about this.
Front row.
Your colleague, Tom Keene from New Jersey, hasn't voted in 3 months. He hasn't been seen in 3 months. He says he is dealing with a personal medical issue and has repeatedly said he'll return soon. How is it acceptable that a member of Congress can be missing without
I wish they'd do a better job of miking these press conferences, but I think they do it on purpose.
explaining to constituents what exactly is going on? Does he need to be more forthcoming? And how is that acceptable?
I talked to Tom a couple of days ago, maybe Friday or Saturday. He's in good spirits, but as his public statement that went out yesterday explained, he's dealing with a health issue. He's under the care of healthcare providers, and they've told him he needs a little bit longer to recover. Now, that's all I can say. That's all he said. It's not a scandalous thing at all. People deal with health issues. Maybe that's a news flash for you, but...
Oh, my God. I didn't even notice. Does anybody... Democrats were transing them. Oh my God. I fucking somebody in chat brought that. If you're not watching this on video, there's the docket is in the, if you're listening on the podcast or whatever, the docket's in the show notes for the podcast. There is literally a sign behind them that says Democrats were transing the mice with $8.2 million of your tax money. And I think wasn't that one of those things where it was like transmutation or some word, like that wasn't like about gender or sex. It just happened to have the word trans as part of the word.
Even members of Congress get sick as well, right? He's dealing with that right now. Tom Keene is an extraordinary member of Congress. He has delivered for the people of New Jersey. He ran without opposition in the primary yesterday, and he deserved to because he has been a phenomenal...
Oh yeah, somebody in chat was transgenic. So they weren't...
for Congress and a great member of our team here. He comes from a long legacy of public service in his family, as you know, is a famous family. He is going to be back. He'll be back. He's working remotely right now, as he explained in his statement yesterday, and he's anxious to come back in person and be here voting every single day. So I'm going to let him address the rest of it. People are entitled to get sick. This happens. And that's the most we can say about it. He's going to give full transparency and full explanation when he gets back, and I'm encouraging him to do that.
Imagine if this was like AOC who got sick. I don't know, something happened, some who knows what it would be. I don't want to fucking make up shit about people. Let's say something where it even took her 3 weeks to fucking recover. These people would be calling for her to be expelled from the Senate via firebombing. I think if dude's older and got sick for 3 months, that's fine. He should probably be a little more open about it so that his constituents know what's going on. But I don't know. I just feel like if the shoe was on the other foot or whatever, these people would be losing their fucking minds about it. It would absolutely be calling, why aren't you resigning? You haven't been at work in 3 weeks. It's like, dude, the Senate only works 4 months out of the year. Fucking hold your horses, guys. Anyway, up next. Looks like Vivek Ramaswamy is the nominee for governor in Ohio, and I feel like the Democrat might win because the Republicans in Ohio are probably extremely racist and are not interested in voting for a man named Vivek Ramaswamy. I personally wouldn't vote for him, but that's because I think he's a ghoul. But if a dude's name was Vivek Ramaswamy, and I would have no problem voting for them based on that. But this is Republicans in Ohio. So I think Ohio is about to have a Democratic governor.
One of the points that came out of my dialogue with her was that actually a black baby is probably safer in the inner street of Chicago, than in the womb of his own black mother. And I think that that's
what the fuck?
It's directly the product of what Margaret Sanger envisioned.
Okay, so this is just fucking anti-black racism all around. First of all, like inner city, it just means inside the city. It's, I don't know. I guess like black people. Oh my God. It's just, and then he said, oh, but they're actually safer than if they're in the mother's womb, implying that like black women have all the abortions and shit, which is really weird because these people are like pronatalists. So these people are all like kind of white replacement theory people, even Vivek Ramaswamy. So what, I don't know. They think that people are killing off all the white babies and replacing the white babies. So why would they be upset about black women having abortions? I guess they're upset about any woman doing what a thing she wants to do. I don't know. That's fucked up. I think that guy's going to lose, not because of comments like that. In fact, he might have picked up a few Republican votes that he might not have otherwise got. He's like, oh shit, I need them to know that I'm their guy. So I got to talk all kind of shit on black people and gay people for the next few months. Otherwise I'm going to lose. Up next, this isn't a video, but I just saw somebody shared this Chiron with me. And this was from this week. This was from last Sunday on Fox. They're playing the hits. Questions about Biden's cognitive health resurface. They're still doing this in this year, the year of our Lord, 2026. This was the end of May. It was last Sunday. They're still doing, oh, is Biden dumb? Well, if his cognitive health is bad, well, he's not the fucking president anymore. I don't know. You beat the person that ran in his place. So like, what the fuck I don't know, man. He's an old man. He likes ice cream. Leave him alone. His son fucking rules. I love when these people end up having to like go after each other because of how incompetent all of these people are. So you have to, if you want to make any claim to any kind of competence, you eventually have to say something bad about, I don't know, maybe your predecessor. And here's Mark Wayne Mullen doing that about Greg Bovino.
And one other question.
Yes.
Former Border Patrol official Gregory Bovino has been critical, saying...
I never met the guy. I never met the guy. No, he's irrelevant to me. I don't know who he is. What else, guys?
I don't know. Never heard of him. It's like the opposite of I have a girlfriend and she goes to fucking school in Canada. It's like, I don't know. I never met him. Is he one of them Chinese? Like Bovino. Is he from Italy? Is that the Italian prime minister? Here's more from that same press conference. This is about Newark, New Jersey, where there are protests at an ICE facility. And I guess these people are saying that they want to shut down international travel to airports in blue cities. And I guess they want to do that in Newark, New Jersey, because it's, I don't know, near where the protest is. And they might have to pull the officers, like the people who check your fucking passport. I guess the people who check your passport have to now quit doing that and go out and fucking crack some protester skulls, I guess.
You suggested that you're going to consider pulling CBP officers from airports you consider sanctuary jurisdictions. Is there any specific plan to do that in the works right now? And maybe
what I specifically said in New Jersey was, since the state police and the local police says they don't have the resources to be able to respond, then we're going to have to get our resources from someplace else, because we're going to protect our men and women that work for us. And if they're not willing to do that, then we're going to pull resources too. And to pull those resources, the closest resource we have is our CPB officers at the airport. We can flex with those individuals, bring them out. They're licensed officers. We can help provide perimeters, provide security, and then we can allow our SRT to be able to go out and start clearing the streets and doing crowd control. When that takes place, I have to make a decision on my resources, just like the governor and the mayor was making decisions based on their resources. And if we do that by pulling them out of processing flights going into international airports, we will do that, because we have to have resources too. Keep in mind, we're still shut down. So our resources may not be where they should be, but our men and women are still showing up and doing their job.
Do you have a plan with this in place right now, or this is
Right now, yes. Do we have a plan to initiate it? Yes, we have a plan to initiate it if required. We're not required to do it because the state is cooperating with us, and I hope the governor will continue to cooperate with us. The mayor has been very cordial to work with too. The chief of police has been very cordial, and as long as we continue to have this partnership with local and state law enforcement, then there will be no need to do so.
Well, that sucks. I don't know. It's so weird. They're like, we're going to, like, I don't think the people that process you at the airport, I know that they're officers, but I don't think that those, I don't know. I just don't think that those are the kind of people that are going to go out and crack protester skulls. Those aren't the same people. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to check like, I don't know, man. All I know how to do is check passports and make sure that everybody's who they say they are when they're coming in. Make sure their visa is good. You know, you just ask, oh, what is the purpose of your visit? And you fucking stamp the thing, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, what do you mean I need to go out there and fucking do crowd control? Absolutely not. So, people have this idea about these states where they vote really strongly and always blue. California, for example, people think it's like some progressive left-wing place. It's like, no, there's just a lot of Democrats here. And that's the same as New Jersey. We're going to see this right now. This is a journalist from AP News got injured covering the protests in New Jersey. And we have video of the fucking New Jersey State Police, like, essentially not allowing her to leave the location to go get medical treatment.
Got a journalist in a wheelchair here.
She needs to go to the hospital.
We need to go to the hospital.
Press.
Press.
Would you guys be able to make a hole for us? Is that possible? Hi. We just walked all this way.
There's no other way to get back. We need to go to the hospital.
Can you guys?
They're not allowing her to the hospital.
AP, Associated Press.
New York Times.
New York Times.
We need to get through.
I'm begging you. I'm in so much pain.
She broke her knee.
Is there someone we could just talk to? I'll bring you our credentials.
Can we speak to a supervisor?
Please.
Can we speak?
We've got a journalist with a broken knee.
Mike, I can't hear you. I'm going to come a little closer. I heard stay back.
So I give her a warning.
Credentials.
So I tell her to stay back.
The police told us this was the only way to go.
The police told us to open a hole.
Are you that fucking afraid?
I'm not trying to no harm.
We are pressed.
I'm not trying to cause anything, really.
We need to go to the hospital.
The seriously injured journalist, and they're not allowed. The only way through to the hospital is past them. The police told them to come back this way, and they're not being allowed through.
You can visibly see that she's injured, and you can't even escort her to the other side? Who are you protecting?
Nobody in this case, actually, I don't think.
Please stay back.
Are they afraid she's like a suicide bomber or something? Like, why did they have to fucking talk them into it? Or are they not going to are they letting them through? Why did they have to fucking talk them into it? Like, why did they have to talk them into letting them leave at all?
Nobody's gonna clap for you. Nobody's gonna.
Got a journalist in a.
Wait, why did they have to talk them into letting you? What do you mean? What do you mean I can't leave? I thought you all fucking wanted people to leave. What do you mean? Now I really think about it, like, why wouldn't they let you leave? Even if if you're like, okay, I'm out of here. Why would they make you stay? I thought they didn't want you to stay at the protest. I thought the fucking pigs wanted you to go home. What the fuck? And somebody in chat was like saying that on their favorite shit lib. What you're looking at right there is sort of like where, like liberal sensibilities and the idea of decorum and like respect for freedom of the press and stuff, it pushes right up against creeping fascism and authoritarianism, because those fucking, I don't know why, but the fucking state police didn't seem to give a fuck that they were pressed, didn't seem to give a fuck that the person was injured, didn't seem to give a fuck that they wanted to leave, which is really weird, because you'd think that they're there, they want you to leave, right? I think they would prefer that there not be a protest, I suppose. So if a bunch of people want to leave, why not let them? Like, I don't understand. You want to leave for all kind of reasons. Just come back tomorrow, go home and get some sleep. Maybe you have a place to go. You know, you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the protest, but actually I have to meet a friend. I have to meet up with a friend later tonight. We have some work to do. You know, you have to go do a Twitch stream, a podcast. You could have a fucking late night pickup basketball game. You can have a shift at the Denny's. You could have any number of reasons you might want to leave this fucking protest, and the cops are like, you can't leave. That seems fucking stupid. The whole thing is dumb, and fuck the police. There are really like, it's the whole thing is really, really bad. The whole system's really, really bad. And all these fucking cowboys that are like, those people were hoping that something cracked off, right? They're out there hoping something cracks off so they can fucking use all them fucking fancy toys they have on people who are armed with, I don't know, like a phone and a backpack. We really need to like do something. Like, we have bigger fish to fry right now, I suppose, but we really need to do something about the culture of policing at all levels across this country at some point, because it is fucked up. It is fucked up. Anyway, here's a dry drunk Tom Holman saying that everything's actually fine in the Delaney Hall, the jail there. Everything's fine. I don't even know why these people are protesting. I don't even know why that lady in the wheelchair was there covering it for the press.
We've discussed this many times, Tom, and as a matter of law, they have codified the idea, being a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state, that they're just aiding and abetting in the law breaking. I don't know what recourse your department.
What law are those people breaking? Look, their hands are up. What law are they breaking? Like, what do you mean? What are they not supposed to be there? That looks like a street.
Local law enforcement, are they being ordered to stand down and not help at a time of need with a fellow officer? That's unconscionable and frankly unheard.
Wait, what?
Well, like I said, we addressed that in New Jersey, and we got local law enforcement, state law enforcement to finally do their public safety job. But we got to remember what started all this. You got Democratic lawmakers on Memorial Day making false allegations about the facility, about the food, the medical care, hunger strikes.
I don't think this guy's drunk, but I think this guy's still drunk off of something he fucking had a real problem with about 20 years ago. The people in like recovery call it like being a dry drunk.
Into that facility. I went through the medical, I went through outdoor recreation, indoor recreation. I even made a surprise visit this weekend and walked into the cafeteria and ate the same meal that the detainees around me were eating. And I made sure my tray equaled their tray. I had spaghetti and meat sauce. I had beans. I had green beans. I had bread and rolls. I had drinks. I had dessert. The food was good. It's all a false premise. There was never a hunger strike. The congressman said, oh, people are on hunger strikes. No, they weren't. They may not be eating in the cafeteria, but what I found out, they're ordering food from the commissary and eating in their cells. So there wasn't any abuse. It's not inhumane conditions. I went to the entire facility. I ate the same meal they ate. That facility is well run, and the governor keeps saying she's going to keep raising hell if that facility shuts down. Well, I got news for the governor. That facility isn't going anywhere. We're going to enforce the law. We're going to detain people, and we're going to remove people. Matter of fact, a lot of the people in that facility, we couldn't release because they're mandatorily detained by federal statute. So we couldn't release them if we even wanted to. But we're not going to release any of them. Everybody in that facility, I have ascertained.
Like, what? Being detained. This is not the police standing down.
Many of them again.
This is pigs gonna pig.
Criminals.
What the fuck? He's like, the police those are the state police, and they were fucking going after. What do you mean this? So we watched two different things. The same law enforcement organization, and well, I don't know. It seems like Tom Holman is lying about like what the local police are doing. Like, the police are standing down. Nuh-uh, they looked like they were fucking people up, and I don't know. It seems like they're trying to like not let people leave, which is really strange. So I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I tend to, whatever Tom Holman says, I probably think the opposite. He's probably lying. I don't know if he went in and had the food and it was good, but you think the people fucking working there don't know when this motherfucker is coming, even if he thinks he's surprising them? Oh, get out of here. Everybody knows he's coming. So up next, this is Todd Blanche. He is a giant piece of shit, and he went in front of Congress. I have a bunch of clips of him.
Why haven't you appointed a special prosecutor to take a look at this? This looks, on its face, it just looks like a quid pro quo scenario that should be investigated. Why haven't you taken that step?
Well, the power to pardon in our Constitution is given to the President of the United States. The Constitution does not require him to provide any explanation for who he chooses to pardon or not pardon, or commute or not commute. And so I very much reject the idea that the premise that this looks like something is a basis for me to appoint a special
Let me
prosecutor.
reclaim my time. The Constitution gives him absolute power to pardon. It does not give power to pardon in exchange for payments, clearly. And a $2.1 billion payment to his family. And we'll set aside the fact that he should have divested from all of those interests anyway, but the fact that he gave that he gets the $2 billion piece, and then a few months later pardons the guy who was guilty of money laundering and providing money to, or helping to finance the money laundering operation for ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the guys we're fighting in Iran right now, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. That's not a problem?
Who he chooses to pardon is not a problem, period. And you're saying all these things that are just not true.
What's the legal basis for that statement?
The Constitution of our United States.
The Constitution does not give him the authority to pardon in exchange for payments. It does not permit bribery.
For payments, you told me nothing about exchange for payments. You said there's.
Well, I just told you.
Put a bunch of facts together.
Well, that's why you need a special.
You just put a bunch of facts together and told me in what order they happened, but I don't know. You didn't tell me anybody got paid for doing anything. You just put a bunch of facts together. This guy, what the fuck, dude? These people will just go in front of like Congress, if you believe in God, the American people, and the whole world, and just fucking say this kind of shit. I don't know, man. You're just saying facts.
Clearly, you're not going to do it. Shouldn't somebody be appointed, a truly experienced prosecutor, to take a look at this and conduct the investigation? And then if he reaches the conclusion that you're right, that's fine. But if he finds that there's a problem with what the president did or his family, then he should move forward with prosecuting that case.
Has expired.
I very much disagree.
I very much so first of all, so let's say that the president gave the pardon, but the money on it was given to a member of his family or somebody in one of his businesses. Well, the president has immunity, but the person who took the fucking bribe on behalf of the president certainly does not. But I've been thinking about this a lot. I think pardons are fucking dumb. I think if you get convicted of a crime and you've admitted that you've done it and you were sentenced to a number of months or years or whatever it is, and you are doing that time, or you are already out and you're on probation and you just want your record cleared or whatever. Well, if that option isn't available to everyone through some kind of like due process and bureaucracy, I know bureaucracy is a dirty word and whatever, but this is, we'll be okay here. If it's not available to everyone through that, if the only way it's available for a federal crime is if like you're homies with someone who knows the president, well, I don't know, man, that's some like dictatorship strongman bullshit that was like written into the Constitution. I think maybe the president should be able to commute people's sentences, possibly. But I don't know about this full, like, oh, that never happened, actually. You have to admit that you did it, but now it never happened because the president says so. It seems like a really dumb fucking thing. And I don't think a lot of other countries have things like that. At least not the countries that have historically been the allies of the United States. I know there's patronage networks in every system, but I don't think this happens in other countries. So up next, we have more of Todd Blanche. He's talking about the weaponization fund that actually got rescinded, which I think is pretty great that it got rescinded.
Mr. Attorney General, I want to thank you for verbally committing to not moving forward with the so-called anti-weaponization fund. I just want to make sure, are you going to issue a new memo in writing, rescinding that May 18th memo?
I'm not committing to putting anything in writing. I'm going to say it today over and over again. I mean, I don't know what the purpose of putting something in writing. I'm telling you what we're doing. Meaning, like, why do I need to put something in writing if I'm telling you what we're doing?
This motherfucker is an attorney. And he's like, why? What do you mean? I'm telling you, why would we want to put this in writing? This motherfucker is an attorney. Dude, you put things in writing with your signature on them so that someone can refer back to it, the paperwork. Again, bureaucracy, man. What the fuck?
You established it in writing, so it just makes sense to rescind it in writing. I think a lot of Americans, both sides of the aisle, are concerned about it, and it would restore a lot of trust about this issue.
Okay, I'm not committing to doing anything in writing. No.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take it under advisement.
I'm just concerned because you're not under oath, and I want to trust you, and I want to believe you.
Wait, why? He's not under oath? Even when he is under oath?
Putting it in writing would
oath is like a fucking pinky swear.
Issue. I have 1 minute left. It's still.
I'm not going to put that in writing. No. We're going to change policy. But why bother put it in writing that we're going to change policy, that we're not going to do the thing that we said we were going to do, actually, that we have in writing? It's so that they can do it. They can say now that they're not doing it and then just fucking do it later. That's why they're fucking not putting anything in writing or saying under oath that they're eliminating this fund, because they're going to pay out their homies and shit with this money. This money is going to go to Trump's friends, or maybe just to Trump. We have more of his hearing. It doesn't get better.
And it's public. This time, and more importantly, it's under oath. You're speaking to Congress. So let's get into it. When will you comply with the law and release all of the files?
As I said to you when we spoke before, we have complied with the law. We have reviewed.
There are 3 million more documents, and you know what you said to me? They're all duplicative, and they include another guy named Epstein.
No, I didn't.
Nobody's
say
buying.
That.
That's
I did
what
not
you said.
say that.
That's what you said.
So look,
reclaiming my time.
Can I answer? Can I answer the question?
You may not. I just gave you the answer you gave me.
Telling.
No, actually, it's my time, Mr. Chairman. I think those are the rules of this committee. I told him the answer he gave me, and now in public he's trying to say something else. Please stop the clock. Can I get that time back? May I have 20 seconds back, Mr. Chairman? Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Mr. Blanche.
You don't want me to answer the question.
Mr. Blanche, as you know, I visited DOJ 3 times for as much as 10 hours, and I'll be going back. Does the Epstein File Transparency Act say that the files should be available to members of Congress with a minder at DOJ, where you're in a secure room, you can't write on any of the binders, you can take your own notes? Is that what the Transparency Act says?
It doesn't require we allow you to come to DOJ at all. We did that on our own.
What does it say in terms of transparency? It says that they should be made publicly available.
And they were.
Am I correct?
And
publicly available.
And they were.
Oh, well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
I beg your pardon. And I'd actually like to get 20 seconds back. How do I get cut off 2 minutes into this?
2 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Chairman.
No, that's not right.
What rules are we operating under? Because he's under a little bit of heat for not prosecuting anyone in these monstrous crimes? I've been in the room. I have been there. This is what I had to do, to transcribe, to show what is true. What is true is that the president has lied about being on Epstein's plane, and the unredacted files prove that. There's a lot in here. I am shocked at this. There's also this set of files in the file. This is investigation into the potential co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein. I almost used up all the blank ink in the hallway because it's all covered up. It's all covered up. The American people are not stupid. They know that when members of Congress have to go in and actually unredact to try to find the truth for these victims, something is corrupt. something is corrosive.
This guy, what a bad liar. How is this guy an attorney? I mean, he's Trump's personal attorney. He's just in there like, what the fuck? He's like, we did comply. It's like, no, you didn't. It's like, she just showed a document that was supposed to have been made public, right? And she's like, here, she's like, it's all fucking redacted. This is so bad. This is all such a bad look. I'm honestly surprised that this shit hasn't somehow leaked, like unredacted, and somehow I'm kind of stunned, actually. Maybe that's coming. Who knows? Anyway, here's more. It's so bad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could just follow up on my colleague Congresswoman Meng's questions. I have here. This is the order on the settlement, the $1.8 billion, and then this is the addendum to the order, which is about tax immunity, and this is a copy of the settlement agreement, and the Associate Attorney General signed this. These two documents were signed by yourself. Now, this is all in writing. This is all. Can you tell us here today that you are going to disavow this, that you're going to rescind what you said to Ms. Meng in writing with these efforts? These three documents are in writing. Is that a yes or a no?
So I can't answer that yes or no. Do you want an answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so not yes or no. You gave me three documents. The only document I said we're not moving forward on today is the first document identified, which is the anti-weaponization fund. There's still a settlement agreement, and there's still the second document I signed is not an addendum; it's a separate Attorney General order.
Okay. Okay. So, but you're not going to rescind the addendum, the second order.
No,
the only thing you're talking about here. So the blanket immunity is not something that you're going to move back on.
It's not blanket immunity. That's not true.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay. United States releases, waives, acquits, and forever discharges each of the plaintiffs from and is hereby forever barred and precluded from prosecuting or pursuing any and all claims, counterclaims, causes of actions, appeals, requests for any reliefs. I mean, this is an order from you, but you're not prepared. You are prepared to say that the president and his family will be barred, are immune from. That's a yes.
No, it was not a yes. I answered the question. I can't answer if you want me to.
What do you?
But you don't have to answer. This is a rhetorical question. Homegirl just read what it says. It's a public document. I've read the document. It says no, the IRS can never go after the Trump family. You're free to fucking do whatever kind of fucking fraud you want. And the IRS will never look into you. Which, by the way, once Trump's out of office, there's no way to like enforce this going forward.
Doing with this.
Okay, so there was a settlement, which is one of the documents you showed. Okay, right. Part of the settlement included the second order that you just held up, right. And that is still, nothing has changed with that. What I said today, what I've said a couple times today, as what we talked about yesterday, is we're not moving forward with the anti-weaponization fund.
Yeah, I want to know where that money's going. It's going to Donald Trump. He's like, I don't want to give this money to some dumb fuck who stole a door from the Capitol building. He's like, I want it for myself. Oh, here's more from Representative DeLauro. This is about where Todd Blanche gets his money from, actually. If you can imagine, it's all, a little sordid, a little out of the ordinary, a little maybe what you wouldn't expect from the Attorney General of the United States.
That we are going to forever barred and precluded from examining or prosecuting the president, his sons, and the Trump organization's current tax filings. Simply put, you just gave the president and his family a tax immunity to the tune of about $100 million.
Not true.
Well, yes, you have, my friend.
It's not true.
You know, look, and I just want to say this. The Save America paid you nearly $10 million between March of 2024 and December of 2024 to serve as the President Trump's personal defense attorney. My God, don't you not find there's any conflict of interest in what you are doing here as the acting Attorney General of the United States?
I didn't. What are you saying is a conflict?
What the fuck?
Listen,
the fact that I used to have a job and I have a current job.
You know, I got.
A conflict of interest is when used to have job and now have different job. This dude does not give a fuck. I mean, like, he's a ghoul and shit, but you kind of got to admire the way in which the dude does not give a fuck. He knows nobody's buying this. He just doesn't think anything's going to happen to him. He thinks this is awful. He probably loves this. Just you know, again, you can two things can be true at once, right? The guy's a giant piece of shit. He's like a fraudulent person. There's obviously a whole bunch of bad shit going on right now. Like when the president as an individual sues a department of the federal government that reports to the fucking president as the president, who's the same person as the president as the individual, and then they settle, he's essentially making a settlement with himself. I think that's stupid. The main reason it's stupid is because he's not suffering any of the consequences for being on the side that has to, like, give up the money. He's giving the money to himself, but it's like, I guess your money and my money. Like, what the fuck, dude? All right. Scott Bessent, also a piece of shit, was spent some time with Congress this week. Oh, he was the Senate, actually.
You are the acting IRS commissioner, correct?
That is incorrect.
What is your position right now with the IRS?
My term expired.
So you have no position with the IRS whatsoever?
The IRS is a bureau that reports to Treasury. When there is no commissioner, those duties float up to me.
All right. So there's no interaction that you have right now or responsibility over the IRS other than the commissioner's there. The commissioner has free reign, and you don't have any authority to stop anything?
No, there is no commissioner, so I assume those duties.
So there is no commissioner, so you're acting commissioner.
Wait, what? Yeah, these people do not give a fuck. He just said that one thing and then just said, I don't know. I guess it's the opposite now that you mention it.
Incorrect.
Okay, so for the purpose of the public, let's get it straight so the public knows your involvement. There is no commissioner. There's somebody that is acting.
I had previously been the acting commissioner. Okay. Senator Warren, who likes to send me a lot of letters, was kind enough to send me a letter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out your role with the IRS. For the purpose of the public and transparency, what is your role currently with the IRS and your authority?
I am performing the duties of the commissioner.
So that means you're the acting commissioner. You just said that you weren't. And that you were before, but then now you aren't. But then you're saying that you are because you're acting. What the fuck? Like, look at how happy these people are. They're so glad to be able to be doing this. They're so glad to be able to be doing this, like, as a member of, like, the fucking Trump administration.
Oh, so you are. Okay, got it. So let me ask you this, because you talked about...
These people are all getting pardons. That's what they just know they're all getting pardons.
Donald Trump and his family, but there were 400,000 taxpayers' information that was also leaked by Mr. Littlejohn, the contractor working for the IRS. Do you intend to give them the same immunity as President Trump and his family received?
Again, you were not here at the beginning. I had a statement that I read to Chairman Crapo that I am unable to provide any additional details.
Well, that's not part of the litigation.
Due to litigation.
That's
Yeah, but that's probably why people are asking you these questions when you're like, I don't have information for you. And they're like, well, this is the piece of information that I would like from you. He's like, didn't you hear me at the beginning when I said I didn't have any information? Why are you asking me these questions? This is, I don't know. I don't even know. This is like arguing with, I'm not even sure. I don't even know, like, what kind of, like, I've never been in an argument like this. I've never been in a situation exactly like the members of the Senate and the House have been put in by this man and the man we were watching before.
The 400,000 taxpayers aren't part of the litigation. You have said there were 400,000 taxpayers' information that was also leaked. They're not part of that litigation. Do you intend to give them the same immunity that you gave Donald Trump and his family and corporations that were part of the litigation?
Senator, you may have missed the first part of this, but Treasury does not give any of that. We are represented by the Justice Department.
That's right. You're the acting commissioner. As acting commissioner, you had said earlier you had concerns about those 400,000 taxpayers whose documents were leaked by an independent contractor with the IRS. If you have concerns about those 400,000, do you intend as acting or your whatever role it is you have as the IRS commissioner, do you intend to give them the same type of treatment?
We will follow the instructions and the settlement
that was not part of the settlement. That was not part of the settlement. Clearly, let me just say, that was not part of the settlement. It's been very clear you're dodging this, and you're trying to use it as an excuse. It's just outrageous on behalf of the American public. So let me just move on.
And that I will follow the law as an excuse, Senator?
When you were...
Jesus Christ. Yeah, these people are loving this, right? There's no way they don't absolutely love doing this. They like get to stick it to these people and not answer their questions and just act like, well, I guess like this, here's more. I mean, there's just nothing. There's just nothing these people don't think they can do.
I hope that you're proud of your performance today.
Oh shit, Ms. Sanchez agrees with me. Look at that. Yeah, that's what I was saying just a second ago. You were here. Ms. Sanchez, I know Ms. Sanchez went forward into the future and stole that from me, actually. She's a time traveler.
I hope you get some social media
clips. I think it's pretty
clips.
safe to say that this is probably the most corrupt Treasury Department in our nation's history. And while you dance around questions to protect Trump, Americans are suffering in Trump's spiraling economy. Inflation is now rising faster than average hourly wages. Gas prices are at an all-time high with the war in Iran. The cost of groceries has risen 3.2% over the past years. And prices on most goods have gone up because of Trump's tariffs. So I don't see how you could call that anything other than a failure of the most corrupt Treasury Department in history.
Your time has expired, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you. My time has expired.
Secretary, I would love for you to respond to the accusations at your department, because I think you are due the opportunity for that.
The Congresswoman is slanderous.
Slander is a legal term. And she has immunity from that, actually, in her official duties in Congress.
Nothing but the unsubstantiated opinions, and I will not stand for that. There is nothing corrupt. We move at the highest levels, and just because she cannot get the answer she wants, if she would like to give me facts, she seems long on facts. Short on facts, long on hot air. I cannot stand for that.
This guy's not as good at it as the last guy, I don't think.
Yeah, that's great.
Mr. Arrington is recognized.
Disgrace to make a remark like that.
Apparently, my colleagues had a sudden interest in the...
Jesus Christ. He also knows that like these fucking Republican weirdos are going to fucking like try to run cover for him. This is all really bad. Hold on, we got one more. Oh man. I don't, these people love this. I don't know. I guess the other thing I don't like is that the president, like with the pardon thing, like I know Joe Biden did it too. He's like pardoning the future. So like he's going to pardon all these people. So if a huge scandal or 20 huge scandals or whatever get uncovered as soon as these people get out of fucking their jobs and out of the White House, if they ever leave, and if everybody there, including the president himself, already has like a pre-pardon, then I guess like crime is legal if you know the president, not just crime that you already did. They can't even fucking go after you for crime in the future because all you got to do is like admit to it and then fucking sign the pardon and then you're done. Like, The hell is stupid. Anyway, here's more of this guy. There's just one more of this guy. We're going to move on to something else.
One of President Trump's first actions was to put his billionaire donor, Elon Musk, in charge of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. By the end of Musk's short but destructive tenure, DOGE had nearly quadrupled its original budget, lost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars in estimated interest and fee revenue, and paid 200,000 federal employees roughly $22 billion to stop working. DOGE was a massive failure. It turns out moving fast and breaking things and having no clue what the heck you're doing is not the most efficient way to govern. Unfortunately, DOGE's destruction wasn't limited to wasting taxpayer dollars and gutting the federal service. DOGE staffers also abused their position to gain access to taxpayers' sensitive private data. Mr. Secretary, on January 31st, 2025, you personally granted DOGE access to one of the Treasury Department's payment systems at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service. This database houses Americans' most sensitive data, including Social Security numbers and bank account information. Shortly after, my colleagues and I requested the GAO review DOGE's unprecedented access to this critical payment system. GAO completed that report last month, and I asked for unanimous consent to insert it in the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. GAO's audit determined that a DOGE employee was inadvertently granted temporary access to create, modify, and delete data from the payment system. Mr. Secretary, you failed to impose basic safeguards that left millions of Americans' personal data vulnerable to unauthorized access and abuse. And so my question for you is, do you take responsibility for that? And what specific measures, if any, have you taken afterwards to protect the affected individual's data and rebuild confidence in your department's handling of sensitive information?
Again, would you care to look up what does inadvertent mean?
Have you taken, but you're in charge. Are you?
He's like, but you said inadvertently. Oh my God.
For this, do you take responsibility for that? Do you take responsibility?
I will take responsibility.
Okay, and then and again, what has been done to make sure that can never happen again?
Congresswoman, it was read-only. They had no ability to edit.
What has happened to make sure that never happens again?
We have, just as we have at the IRS, we have tightened up all protocols on systems.
I guess that's not very specific, but
he just fucking disagreed with the GAO, said that the person had like ability to edit. So that's read and write access, not just read. It wasn't read only access. What is he saying? The GAO is lying? I mean, I don't know. Maybe the GAO is wrong. He goes, oh, what does inadvertently mean? And it's like, okay, well, that's fucking great. Okay. So if you didn't do it inadvertently, then you're a ghoul. And if you did it inadvertently, then you're incompetent. But I think that we don't have to make that choice between incompetent and a ghoul. I think the guy is incompetent, but he's also a ghoul. And I don't think they really gave a fuck what those broccoli-headed fucking, like, Groyper fascist fucking Doge kids, young men, had access to. I think they didn't care. And I think they probably, a lot more data than has been public, like a lot more data than we were told was taken. There's a lot more information probably out there about every one of us because of this. We may not find out about it right away. In fact, these people may fucking cover the whole thing up and then fucking get a pardon. So now it's illegal to look into it. I don't fucking know. Anyway, and more people lying to you about what's going on in this barely mediocre nation right now. Did you know that inflation is on a dive right now? This is Hassett on Larry Kudlow's show. I think Larry Kudlow is also a dry drunk. I don't think he's drinking anymore, but I think he's still pretty fucked up off of something he was having a real problem with in, like, I don't know, the 2010s.
How bad, let me ask you this, how bad is the inflation rate? Because, you know, Kevin Warsh has raised a lot of interesting points about alternative inflation measures from reserve banks, all right? This is not phony stuff. How bad is the inflation rate? You tell me.
Right. Well, right now it's on a deep downward dive. If you look at the trimmed mean or the core, it's headed right towards the Fed's target. And so, honestly, Wall Street's been buzzing a lot about these alternative measures that sort of throw out the outliers. Another thing that we got recently from a CEA memo they sent to me is that the inflation is really out of control in the blue states. And so if you take out New York and California, then the story is radically different. So these really high...
So the inflation is like where everyone lives. That's what he's saying. You know those places where like fucking all the people live?
Cost, high regulatory states are driving inflation as well. And so there's really good news even on inflation right now.
I mean, if you take out the high and the low, according to the Dallas Fed, you're only at about 2.3, 2.5%. So, but you know.
So this is, so there's also something going on here that I don't think a lot of other people are bringing up, but like if inflation is happening, right? If inflation is high, would it stand to reason that the stock market would also go up? Just if everything else is getting more expensive, why wouldn't a stock also get more expensive, right? I don't know how this works, but I couldn't, if inflation was 10% one year and they're like, oh, but the stocks are all up 10%. It's like, well, hey man, that's just because everything went up 10%, including the stock market. So here's more of that fucking Fox Business hit.
It really is a very strong story about the economy, and the only thing that happens when you go on TV is people only want to talk about gas prices, right? That's what
gas prices are coming down. Gas prices, that's a fact. That's gas prices down about 6%. Oil prices, though, are down almost 20%. And some ships are getting through. I mean, even there's some improvement there. Now, I know the gasoline problem. The gasoline price is a problem for a bunch of people. I understand that. You can't gloss over that, and you didn't, to your credit. But
you think either of these dudes put gas in their own car ever or have to worry about how much gas is? I don't drive, but I ride my bike right the fuck past gas stations. Gas is not down. It's about the same. It's like, depending on where you are here in Oakland, if you're right by the freeway, it's like fucking $6. You get in a little bit, it's $5.79, $5.59, something like that. It's very, very high. But like, why they just lie though? These people just fucking lie. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. None of these people have any incentive to tell the truth. So like, why would they? They're just all paid to fucking lie all the time. And I think fucking people are figuring it out. I think like even conservatives are figuring it out. It takes a little longer for somebody to like accept and internalize that they were a mark, right? Like there's the famous quote, it's attributed to Mark Twain in many places, but who fucking knows who actually said it? It's like, it's a lot easier to fool somebody than convince them that someone else fooled them. So it might take a while, but I think there's some chance that maybe like more normal kind of conservative people eventually, maybe after Trump's gone, they'll be like, oh, well, I kind of like got on board with that, but I wasn't really, on board. Anyway, we covered a lot of this last week. These people are fucking really freaked out about James Tallarico. Here's Todd Starnes, who I fucking can't believe that we're putting on the air.
Tallarico also once said that he was coming to terms with his masculinity and his whiteness. Watch this.
Prophetic voices like Jesus have helped me reckon with my own whiteness, my own masculinity, my own certainty, my own ego. It's a never-ending process, and it's a painful process.
Yeah, my heart weeps for you. Look, I'm not sure who's going to be anchoring the first debate between those two, but my first question, if I was invited, would be, Mr. Tallarico, now, have you now, as a 37-year-old man, finally come to terms with your manhood, or do you, sir, perhaps, I don't know, have an affinity for frilly underpants? What's up with that?
They're trying so hard, dude. They're trying. This is all so fucking whack. It's so lame. They suck so bad at this. They're trying so hard, and none of this is landing, dude. I don't think this is landing. I think people are like, "What are you talking about?" These people are all just really mad because there's a word that they want to call him, right? Right. There's a word they want to call him. It starts with an F and it ends with a T, and it's not fat. There's a word they want to call this guy, but they They don't think they can do it. I would suggest that Todd Starnes on his own fucking show on Rumble or whatever could just do it. Anyway, here's more. This is from Fox. Jesus Christ.
He goes on and he talks about America not being a Christian nation. False. There's a 1 minute and a half, 3 minute clip, I should say, of Charlie Kirk. It is epic. And he breaks down how 9 of the 13 original.
Oh, are you going to play it? These people never play anything they like by Charlie Kirk.
Required you to be a Bible-believing Christian, the original states of the United States. And he goes on to list 13 of 13 required a declaration of faith.
Yeah, but then the fucking United States formed and the First Amendment said that nuh-uh.
Several of them said, I profess Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. You are lying to say this is not a Christian nation. You are lying to say that God is several genders. You are lying to say Christianity.
So when those states were formed, like the states were all formed before the federal government was formed. This lady needs to look at the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution.
Of exclusivity. So say what you will, but President Trump is very spot on to say the greatest danger, I believe, when I look across the Democratic Party is not Graham Plattner, who has moral indiscretions. There are some people on the Republican side who have moral indiscretions too. It is someone who lies about Scripture, and that is what this man is doing.
Wait, he's lying about Scripture. Wait, I thought you said he was lying about the Constitution. Oh, for you, they're the same thing.
Constitution never mentions the Bible.
Go read the original 13 colonies and their constitutions. 9 of the 13 required you to be a Bible-believing Christian.
The document we're celebrating today.
There are four mentions in the Declaration of Independence of God. So.
No, okay. The Constitution, I'm a Christian, believe me, but it doesn't mention
the Christian Nation Herald.
Let me see the tattoo.
Christian Nation Herald. Oh my God. He was like, I don't know, man. He's like, the Constitution. Then she started talking over him. He's like, whatever. Oh God! All right, so that's this weekend. This weekend, people freaking out about Tallarico. They mentioned Graham Plattner. We're not covering Graham Plattner. I don't give a fuck. I don't vote in Maine. It looks like Graham Plattner is going to win, and fucking people can yell at each other for fucking 14 hours a day on Twitter about it. I don't give a fuck. Here's the real first lady of this country, Ivanka Trump, talking about the island. The island that her and Jared Kushner and a bunch of investors are purchasing. This is I don't know. Maybe it's a hideout. Maybe it's just a resort. Who knows?
I'm working on an incredible project with my husband in the Mediterranean. It's massive in scale.
I think that's an understatement. Can you explain?
Yes, it is.
There's no power on this island. You're building everything from scratch. Correct.
Well, it's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the islands. We went on a hike, barefoot all the way up to the top.
No, you didn't. No. Absolutely. This is all untrue. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You did not.
And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it, but with a lot of restraint and care because the land is so beautiful that really the architecture has to be fully integrated into it, almost rise from it. You know, it's not even a business for me, despite the scale of it. We not only the island, but we have 5 miles of beachfront directly across from the island, this beautiful peninsula with a lagoon on one side, the ocean on the other, beautiful white sand beaches. For me, it feels more like a challenge than anything else. The culmination of all of my experience in real estate, all of my travel, a lot of reflection on how I want to live, how I think people increasingly are wanting to live, and trying to really build something that's a tangible manifestation of that. That requires a lot of vision, the collaboration of some of the greatest masters that exist. So I was just there walking the land, really just trying to sort of be with it and experience it alongside some of the greatest living architects of our time, like true masters of their craft, people with integrity so absolute, like there will be no compromise. And that's something we want to create there. So we're very excited.
know, man. I don't know. I think they're going to have okay, so they brought in architects from around the world. Where are they going to get the people to build the buildings? Because I don't know if people have seen it. I don't have any clips or whatever, but there's pretty big protests about this. Like filling up the streets. They're like, oh, we're going to do a private island with a resort in your country. And the people are like, the fuck you are. I think she like underestimated how much people in the world hate her family. They hate Jared Kushner, and by fucking the transitive property of hating people, they fucking hate her too. And so I don't think this is ever going to happen. They're going to have to find somewhere else to do this, because I don't think it's going to work. So up next, we have election fraudster who was recently released from prison by the governor of Colorado for fucking no reason, except I guess Trump wanted it to happen, as a Tina Peters. And she begins her, here's the beginning of her MAGA media tour on the Steve Bannon show. We should expect to see more of her. She's out of her fucking mind and tried to fucking commit election fraud and got let out of jail.
I know that the Democrats are going to cheat, and no one's really addressing the problem that I spent my time in prison as retribution for, and that was exposing the election machines that allow the votes to be flipped.
Yeah, she got like a reduction in her sentence, and she's going out there like basically admitting to what she did. She went in there and fucking brought in somebody who she said was like a technician, I believe, and they tried to like download a bunch of information from those fucking machines, dude. That's fucking horrifying. Anyway, here we do not. This is not like a place where Nancy Pelosi is popular. No matter what kind of weird shit people say about me being a shit lib, Nancy Pelosi not exactly popular around here. But she was approached by someone from Lindell TV, and it was pretty funny.
Hi, Congresswoman Pelosi. Last time I asked you about January 6th, why you turned the National Guard away on January 6th, you told me to shut up and that I was repeating Republican talking points.
Shut up again because you're speaking lies. And I don't have
right
anything.
She's like, I'm going to tell you to shut up again.
No,
I'll admit it.
No, I did not admit it. The president never would agree to send the National Guard. Don't waste your time or mine on you.
Why was your daughter filming you on January 6th?
Why don't you get away?
These are just questions the American people want answers to.
No, you know what? I don't even think you're a real journalist. You work for Mike the Pillow Man?
Actually, I do.
Don't consider that journalism. Mike the Pillow Man, that's not journalism. I don't have any reason to talk to you.
I'd love to give you a free
pillow. I want you to record this. I want people to
Yeah.
know that you're not a real journalist. You work for Mike the Pillow Man, and all you do is spout untruths.
Okay.
Get away from me.
You can insult me all you want.
Get away from me.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Nancy Pelosi, but this was fuck Nancy Pelosi, but that was the get away from me part. This is like, she's not running for re-election. She doesn't give a fuck. Get away from me was the best part of that, because she was like, wait a minute, you work for Mike Pillow? I mean, rare W for Nancy Pelosi. I'm gonna have to say rare W for Nancy Pelosi. Here's Dr. Oz. He has some stats for you on how the Affordable Care Act is being used and not used, and how that means it's fraudulent.
About ourselves, we had massive increases of people joining the program. We believe that 35% roughly of the people that are using the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare exchanges, because they've never used the program once, they've never filed a claim, may not be legit. And that actual number may translate to, I don't know, 5-6 million people we could be paying premiums for because they don't have to contribute anything. So they don't even know they're getting it. These are people who have Medicaid, and someone, often a broker, is dishonestly enrolling them on in an Affordable Care Act, or they're in 2 states at once getting full insurance paid for by us. in multiple states at once. So we have evaluated these numbers. They're extremely concerning. There's a very strong effort by us. We actually made a rule 2 weeks ago that starts the process. We had tried to do this when we first came into office. A court enjoined us. They did not feel we'd followed appropriate APA guidelines, government guidelines. And so we redid it and now went back out again. But if you care about the ACA, then you'll want us to take the fraud out. And let me just take a step.
Did you, the fucking, did he fucking, did he say, so if you use your healthcare, if you use government subsidies to get healthcare, you're probably doing fraud. And then there's 35% of people who are signed up for the ACA who haven't had filed any claims, haven't gone to the doctor. So if you don't use it, that's also probably fraud. No, a lot of people sign up for healthcare and then fucking, I bet those are men, right? Men don't ever go to the doctor. Doesn't matter. Progressive men, Republican men, doesn't matter. I go to the doctor every 6 months because I can, and I like to get a checkup, and I like to have the doctor complain at me that I drink too much. And, you know, it's just like a bit of a ritual for me. But yeah, that's just people who signed up for health insurance or getting health insurance through one of the many exchanges and just didn't go to the doctor. Those are the people that health insurance companies fucking love until those people get sick because they ain't never going to the doctor. But then the health insurance companies say, aha, we're not going to cover that. So the health insurance companies still love those people. Guy's an idiot. I love that basically, like, the guest list from the Oprah Winfrey show, the guest list from the Joe Rogan show, and like the flight logs from the Epstein fucking jet are running this country, the executive branch in this country. Fucking love that shit. Here's Dr. Oz talking about how Donald Trump keeps going to the doctor, and it's just that he likes the doctor. He likes the good news from the doctor. Who among us doesn't want to just go to the doctor like all the fucking time and have the doctor be like, oh, you're doing great, thanks for stopping by.
I just wanted to follow up on her question behind me. If the president's in such perfect health, why does he keep going back in for checkups?
I think he likes the results. He does really well.
I crushed going to the doctor
every single day, and I do actually believe that he is curious to make sure everything is going in the right direction. He's a very meticulous person in so many ways that are often underappreciated. But for him to want to know all the numbers and keep on top of them, it's the same reason he calls people at odd hours, because something's on his mind and he wants to deal with it. Yes, in purple.
What the fuck? He likes going to the doctor because he likes the good results when he goes to the doctor. Like, these people, none of these people give a fuck. They can't possibly give a fuck and do this. So we saw Nancy Pelosi deal with the Lindell TV people. If you could imagine this, RFK, or not RFK Jr., sorry, I keep getting these fucking ghouls mixed up. This would be, this is Dr. Oz. He actually seems to like the Lindell TV people. And here's like the Lindell person just asking a dumb question that's mostly just a statement of anti-vax nonsense.
Sarah Castronova from Lindell TV with two important questions that the American people voted for and care deeply about. Many Americans fear a future administration could reinstate COVID-era vaccine mandates through Medicare and Medicaid funding. Would you support and create reforms to prevent that from happening again? What can you do during your remaining time at CMS to ensure Americans are never forced to choose between their jobs and a forced vaccination?
Well, the president talked about this a bit on Friday with an executive order that desires to provide states with better science to be able to make educated decisions. It is an embarrassment that during COVID we allowed ideology and fear to dictate healthcare policy. Many clinicians at the time couldn't understand where these ideas were coming from. It certainly soured the American people on the trust that their government had historically had in recommending public policy efforts. The president argues, and he's right, and Secretary Kennedy strongly believes we need gold standard science. We need that science to be able to help families make better decisions for themselves, and state governments, because these are state-driven issues usually, especially mandates, to make those decisions more wisely. If we can do this in the right way, it will be very empowering, because who loves children the most? Their parents. No matter what we might say, they're the ones who need to have the information. They should have the ability to make the wisest choices for their kids, not based in fear, but based in science. Stephen.
One more nursing home stuff, Roz, if you don't mind.
Let me go
Just
one at a
one.
time. If you ask multiple questions, I'm only going to answer one anyway, so we'll come back. I promise. I talk quickly. Go ahead.
There was it was pretty valid to have concerns and fears about COVID. Like the places that they would say lock down, I would say issued a please stay at home suggestion first. Were places like Santa Clara County and San Francisco County. Those counties did real good, more or less in line with how the rest of the world did for COVID. The places where that didn't happen, the results were bad, more in line with, well, mostly just within the United States and the like the other places that they didn't do that. So I don't know if that was fear. I think that was like reasonable, concern about it. They're always like, oh, well, some of it was wrong. I'm like, well, yeah, we'd never seen this fucking virus before. Some of it was wrong. They always say, oh, well, they told you not to get the masks, and then they told you to get a mask. And I was like, well, they saw what y'all did with the fucking toilet paper. So they knew there weren't enough masks, and they didn't want you to fucking shoot somebody over a mask, like you almost did over the fucking toilet paper. Like, there's all kinds of reasons. Public health is like a difficult task, and I'm glad I don't work in public health. Here's, I guess, Crazy Eyes Michelle Bachmann is back, and she's going to talk about God and Iran.
We've never had a clearer path to defeat Iran. And so I'm worried that the midterms concerns and also elections concerns in Israel, that both leaders will be distracted. I think that would be a tragic mistake for historical purposes. I think we need to stay on task right now, because I truly believe that if President Trump takes care of this evil now, I think God will deliver the midterms as well. I think that will happen. I think the same for the elections in Israel. I believe these men were appointed for this task, destined for this task. They're the only two leaders I can think of who would work together to defeat Iran. Can you think of any other political leader that would do this? And
no, because they're not crazy, because Iran was, for the most part, just over their mind in their own business.
Especially Israel and America. This is historic. This is a biblical moment, and that's why we need to pray into this for the strength for both men not to be distracted, to stay on task and get the job done. I believe it will happen, and I believe that God will take care of all the other considerations that might be distracting.
So when you start hearing that this is biblical from these fucking Christian people, this is like some end time shit. They believe that Jesus is going to come back when, I don't know the exact fucking all the ins and outs of it, but they believe some version of like all the Jews are going to go back to Israel. Jesus is going to come back. The Jews that fucking accept Jesus are going to get taken up to heaven, and the ones that don't, I guess Jesus is going to fucking smite or something, and then they're fucking Armageddon or whatever. That's a lot of what's behind this, and that is like an insane thing to believe. It is an insane thing to believe. I couldn't imagine believing something so absurd. So for a different take on Iran from Crazy Eyes Michelle Bachmann, because honestly, no matter who you are, whether I like you or not, you're definitely going to have a different take on Iran than Crazy Eyes Michelle Bachmann. Here's a Tiny Dancer Ben Shapiro. He doesn't actually think that people are actually that upset about the war in Iran, because I don't know why. I lost it when I said because. Maybe he'll explain it to us.
I'll say that to me, the points of vulnerability for the Republicans in 2026 have very little to do with foreign policy and have a lot more to do with some of the candidates that are getting picked. So I think that if the Republicans were to lose the Senate, they're almost certainly going to lose North Carolina. One of the reasons they're going to lose North Carolina is because the president decided to go to war with Tom Tillis. The Republicans, could win in Michigan, where they normally would lose because the Democrats have picked a psycho over there. Susan Collins is suddenly looking like a more robust candidate in Maine than she would have probably in this.
People aren't mad. No, people are pissed off about fucking the president going to war with Iran. Even a lot of MAGA people are even like, I don't know, man. I don't like Iran. I don't like them Muslims. But we shouldn't go over there. They were over there minding their own fucking business, dude. So I don't know what's going on here. This came from the Discord. My title on my Google Doc here says, here, kid, eat this Bible. So this ought to be fucking interesting.
Is there a teenager that has a paper Bible here? Not your phone, but it's a Bible. Turn to the book of Proverbs for me. You're not going to believe what I'm about to do. But it happened 15 years ago in Brazil. Hold this. Eat it. The power of God is going to go inside of you. Go ahead, take your time. Swallow it! The power of God's coming on you. The power of God's coming on you. The power of God's coming on you. Swallow it. You want some water? Give him my water.
Nobody thought to give the kids some water?
Mark him for the rest of his life. For wisdom. It's coming over your whole body right now. Raise the music up. It's coming on. Just receive it right now, son. This is a life-changing anointing just happening to you. I see you with houses before other people have houses.
So I thought you weren't supposed to tear up a Bible. I don't know, man. I don't know the fucking. I don't believe in the flag code. I don't know if you're supposed to tear up a Bible. I don't know anything. I don't know. I think that's probably, is that blasphemy? I don't know. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know why you made that kid eat the Bible and you made him like raw dog the Bible without any fucking water or anything. You could have at least given him like a bottle of water with it or something. I don't know. Chewing up paper is probably like a little bit difficult. I don't know what kind of ink they're using. Probably not fucking exactly very healthy for you to eat the Bible. People in chat were talking about smoking, using it to roll a joint. I don't know. That ink in there probably makes fucking weed taste nasty. Plus, like, it's all covered in fucking religion and shit. You really want to smoke that or eat that? Anyway, folks, there truly is no hate like Christian love.
There's this idea that we're innately good when we're born. How many people have ever met a 1-year-old and what is often the first word that comes out of their mouth? Mine or no. It doesn't take much to see that we actually start from a pretty horrible place needing a savior from the get-go. So if we have this idea that man is, which people do, I'm a good person, if that's our top belief, well, then any kind of correction is going to be viewed as evil. I find that most parents live in this, like, I'll try to fix my kid when they're 4 or 5, when I can kind of reason with them more. And so they live in this tumultuous world of being irritated at their kids because they're not correcting the things that are creating unrest in the house. And Proverbs literally says, discipline your son so that he will give you rest. Rest. There's a lot of homes that don't have rest because there's not proper discipline.
Oh my God. What the fuck? What do you mean? The parents are, first of all, I don't think most parents are like, well, I don't know, there's fucking something wrong with the kid. We'll fix him when he's 4. No. But when she said like, oh, we'll fix the kid when you can reason with him. No, like you can't really explain nothing to a 2-year-old, right? They might understand no. And if it's important, you should fucking enforce that so they don't hurt themselves or whatever. They're not unlikely to hurt someone else, right? But they start pulling the cat's tail and shit. That cat's going to fuck them up. We've watched My Cat from Hell on Catterdays around here sometimes. But other than that, yeah, you can't really do much with a 2-year-old. You just fucking try, hope they don't fucking find a way to kill themselves. All right. Here's another one of these kind of things. I agree with this lady, actually. I've read the Bible, and I actually agree with this lady's take here. I also think that God is a dick.
Wow, people think God is such a gracious God. I'm like, no, you don't know God. We'll see how gracious he is when you stand face to face with him when your life is over. We'll see how gracious he is then. We'll see if he's your God. If you deny him here, he's going to deny you there. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see how gracious he is.
she thinks she's like threatening me, right? Like, not, she doesn't know me specifically, but she thinks she's threatening essentially a person like me. Right. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see, won't we? When we get to God, we'll see, won't we? Well, lady, I don't know if all this is true. Are we both going to be there at the same time? Are you going to be like there at the same time as all the doubters? Like, I don't even know how long is the line. Like, does time pass after you're dead? Who fucking knows? We'll see, though. We'll see. So I don't think we've covered this guy. His name is Seth Gruber. He's a like really anti-abortion kind of guy, as you'll see in this clip. It's just too many of these fucking people to keep track of.
I would never allow someone who's pro-abortion to babysit my kids. Like, you should not allow a pro-abortion person to watch your aging grandparents. Like, if you believe that it is the blessing of liberty and freedom itself to murder your baby, you should not be trusted to wield political power. I think, how about this? I think that if you're pro-abortion, we should have a federal litmus test where you cannot run for public office or appear on the ballot if you're pro-abortion. Oh my gosh, what a Christian nationalist. That's right.
Because there's a major problem here. Politicians lie, so why wouldn't, if you were pro-abortion, why wouldn't you just lie to get elected? Like, people lie to get elected all the fucking time anyway. Why not lie about that? All right, we got two more here. The last two are kind of fun. I almost put them in red light, but I decided not to because I was like, this docket isn't long enough. And here I said at 1 hour and 46 minutes in their show that really, for all intents and purposes, is supposed to be an hour, but whatever. This is some follow-up from Dave Rubin's appearance on Surrounded, the Jubilee thing, which we watched last week during red light. And it was at the same time infuriating and amazing. But here this gal, I guess, her segment from it got cut. So I want to hear what she has to say.
I was one of the 20 liberals that debated Dave Rubin in the latest Jubilee episode of Surrounded, and well, I was edited out of it, so let's talk about it. Quick, if this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Z. I run the largest counter organization to Turning Point USA on the left, National Ground Game. You've probably heard about us through the Unfuck America tour. In the next couple weeks, I've got groundbreaking research coming out in Turning Point.
Ooh, that wasn't a great group of people to pick, but whatever.
Please go ahead and hit the follow button. I want to preface this by saying I love Jubilee. I work with Jubilee frequently. I have no hard feelings against them editing me out of this episode, but I did want to tell you guys what I said to Dave Rubin. And also I've been told that it might get released on Jubilee's second channel that they have called Tubilee. So you may actually be able to see this. But if you don't, at least you can hear it out of my mouth what happened. Okay, so I went up for the last prompt, which was the modern left prioritizes ideology over reality. And I started the conversation with Rubin by asking him if he thinks that regular Americans are in reality or not in reality. To which he said that regular Americans are in reality. And I said, okay, if that's the case, then why are they leaving MAGA? And he immediately responded by saying they're not leaving MAGA. 97% of people in MAGA support MAGA. And I was like, okay, and 90% of people that like cookies. That doesn't mean anything. But also, why are Trump's approval ratings the worst approval ratings that they've ever been of any president since before the 1960s? To which he could not answer that question. And I said, fine, you don't want to accept that as like being like an indication that people are sick of MAGA. How can you explain then that the Daily Wire just laid off half of their staff? How can you explain the fact that you have 3 million subs on YouTube and you can't even get 6K views on a video? I was like, they're just literally not buying what you're selling, Dave. That's why people are not watching you. I think I also threw in that Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes get way more views than him, and that really pissed him off. You guys didn't get to see any of this because like they edited all of this out, but this man was such a Karen. Like, holy shit. Like, anytime he didn't want to answer a question, he did this with Zena, I think he did this with Parker and a couple other people, he literally would just turn to the producer and he was like, yeah, that's not the prompt. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need them to stick with the prompt. Yeah, but the thing is that's not the prompt. Bro, you created the fucking prompt. Like, just answer the damn question. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I think everybody did a great job. And if you want to see more Democrats fight back against this, then remember to follow me to Unfuck America.
Yeah, I don't like that she liked Jubilee, and she had a photo op from her thing with those like some kind of ghouls and like, but I mean, she's not wrong, right? Those are heavily edited. I think that those Jubilee, they should be able to put out an edited version, but I think that like If for whatever reason they had me on, I would be like, okay, this is fine, but I need access to the unedited video of this. And you also need to like give everybody that else that's participating in this access to the unedited video. I think everybody that goes on there should be like, I'm not going on there unless I have access to the entire unedited video. What are they afraid that like if a mic goes bad or whatever, that they're going to publish a picture of that and be like, look, Jubilee doesn't have good audio people. No, that this girl, this woman, I'm sorry, whether or not we like her or the fact that she likes Jubilee or whatever she's doing, like, I don't know. She talked to Dave Rubin. We should be able to see that. That's sort of what's being sold to us by Jubilee. That this is sort of a no holds barred one. They like one influencer versus 20 influencers, essentially. None of these are just regular people. These people are all trying to be influencers, but that's what's like being sold to us, right? They're not saying here is what we want to show you from this conversation. They're saying this is like a no holds barred discussion, 20 people versus one person they disagree with. And the person they disagree, the person that is the one person is going to take all comers. That's what they're saying that it is. And that's clearly not what it is. So I don't know why Homegirl was like, I actually like Jubilee. I guess it's because she gets to like raise the platform of her organization. And if her organization is mostly advocating for like good things, I guess that's okay. We got one more thing before we get out of here and go into red light, everybody. We made it in under 2 hours, but just fucking barely. Again, this show's supposed to be an hour. This is Jimothy Dore and Brianna Joy Gray, talking about the vaccine.
Is the similarity between some of the effects of vaccine injury and of COVID injury. And I don't want anything that I say to be construed as, I think, I told you that I believe that to be myself to be COVID vaccine injured, but I also do think that people's concerns about the long-term effects of COVID are valid. And I'm not really sure, I certainly don't want to be evangelizing about what the public health response to both of those realities, what they should be. And if what you say is true, again, I don't have any basis of knowledge in this, but
no shit, homegirl. I don't have the fucking much basis in like knowledge about this either. That's why I like fucking just look to like the medical consensus on things like vaccination. I don't know if she was vaccine injured or not. What does she mean vaccine injured? Like we had to cancel, we had a band coming on for Local Love. They were coming on remotely, right? Because it was fucking during COVID. But I couldn't do it because I got the vaccine that day and I got knocked the fuck out for like 36 hours. I had some fucking crazy dreams. Is that a vaccine injury? I mean, it was a side effect from the vaccine for sure, but I'm not like vaccine injured, right? I'm fucking crazy for a whole host of other reasons. It ain't that vaccine that did it to me. So I don't know what she means when she says vaccine injured. And the other thing that's really important here to understand is when people tell you that them or their kid or their best friend or their husband or whoever had a vaccine injury, there's no way for you to check. You can't look up, you could try to look up their medical records, but no matter who you are and no matter who they are, if you try to gain access to somebody else's medical records, I am going to say that you are quite creepy because that is creepy behavior. So when people say, oh, my kids were vaccine injured, I was vaccine injured, the vaccine did this to me, this did that to this other person, you should just ignore them. Because you're never going to be able to find out if they're lying to you or not. And so the best way to deal with things like vaccines is to look at the statistics. And if you don't understand the statistics, I don't know, find organizations that you trust and that have a good track record for interpreting statistics well over history. And best you can do maybe is their interpretation because you're not a statistician yourself. I don't know. Or you could just like watch fucking crazy people on podcasts all saying that they got vaccine injured, but they're not telling you the exact nature of what the vaccine injury is, if it's still affecting them today, or how you would find out whether or not they're telling the truth. And man, I think these people are real mad that fucking HANA virus didn't fucking crack off, by the way, because these people would have been able to nail themselves to the cross again if there was like a HANA virus vaccine that everybody was being asked to take. These people we would just start the whole fucking cycle over again. I would redacted myself if that happened. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out for the podcast part of the show. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, that's great. But I'd encourage you to come check us out live some Sunday. It's Sunday, right? At 7 p.m. Pacific right here on Twitch. That's 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And it's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. And you can support this project, as always, at patreon.com/Echoplex or at eplex.store. As we do every Sunday, we're going to play Boomers. I'm going to change the color of the lights in here, and I'm going to change the contents of my beverage, and we're going to be back with Red Light. So if you're watching live, don't go anywhere. Or I don't know, maybe go check out another channel and come back. I don't care. I don't control what you do on Twitch. Bye.